welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of November 29th through to December the 5th. Okay, so let's start by selecting a final guidance message for the end of the reading. And we're going to dive right into the tarot cards this week to see what are the major themes, guiding messages here for Leo as they go through their week, keeping in mind that there is a solar eclipse happening on December the 4th. So near the end of the week, depending on where you live in the world, could be the 3rd or the 4th. And this solar eclipse will be the last eclipse for 2021, and it's really helping us close out chapters so that we can begin new chapters. So I'm finding that everyone is sort of in a different place with the idea of resolution from all the readings that I've done today. So let's see what's happening for Leo. I'm sort of getting the feeling that Leo's wrapping things up, that they're still in the wrapping things up phase of any sort of resolution or closure that they may be looking at. Let's have a look here. So we see the Six of Pentacles as being sort of what is the overriding energy here for Leo. This is really a card of give and receive and balance and family and resources and prosperity, but making choices about sort of how to give and receive in balance, okay? And like making choices around where we put our investment. Where do we invest ourselves? Where do we invest our resources? Where do we invest our time? So let's see what the obstacle is here. The obstacle for Leo seems to be the Knight of Pentacles, which is a time where I always feel this Knight is bringing in sort of the energy of grounding. Like this Knight, I feel, brings in the idea of being mindful and grounding and connecting to day-to-day life to see the sort of the sacred being all around us all the time, even in the most mundane things. And to be able to sort of connect to that on a level where, again, where do I invest my attention? Where do I put my attention and my intention? And that could be creating an obstacle for Leo with respect to achieving balance in that investment. So it seems like Leo is sort of being challenged this week with the idea of how much to invest themselves in situations that may not be, I don't know, solid investments, I guess, if we're using that language. It almost seems like maybe Leo's giving too much or taking too much. We'll see here. Let's see. I'm sort of feeling like Leo's giving too much, but we'll see. 10 of Wands is what's at top of mind. So Leo's exhausted and overwhelmed and overburdened. I'm guessing because you're overgiving. You're overgiving and you're investing in maybe yourself in situations that don't have any yield for you. I feel like you're just giving. I feel like this is a reflection of perhaps being on a loop of sort of a pattern of behavior that you haven't disturbed yet. Like it's like an autopilot that's still functioning, that is so effective at getting you through your day-to-day that you're not even really looking at any of the results and you're exhausted. The 10 of Wands is a time where you just feel completely overburdened, overwhelmed, and that you're doing it all on your own. So that's what's making me think that this Six of Pentacles is not in balance. Where you're investing is creating an obstacle here. You need to invest elsewhere, Leo. You need to move your investment. You know what I mean? Now, what's at the bottom of this? What's driving your reading is the Knight of Cups. And so the idea of this Knight is to bring in a new emotional sort of presence in your life. Sometimes it can be the idea of like shifting how you feel about something, bringing in an offer potentially of, some sort of like a proposal. This is very interesting. Maybe something is coming in here to show you that you're investing in something that has no return, that all you're doing is exhausting yourself. You're depleting your investment. I like how this is turning into like, it almost sounds like a financial discussion, but you know, this is really about where are you putting yourself, Leo? And are you getting anything out of it? Is it serving you? You know? And I don't mean like in a selfish way, like, are you getting anything out of it? But I just mean, is it even fair? Like, are you even in a balanced situation, or are you over investing in situations that are just depleting you? I think that's the fundamental question. You know, are you over investing in situations that are depleting you? This makes me think of people pleasing. This makes me feel like you don't feel worthy as you are, so you feel like you have to overextend your giving nature in a way that's actually leaving you feeling really overburdened and not very good. Now, I see here in the recent past, there may have been this idea of sacrifices coming up with the Hanged Man here. I feel like you may have started reflecting on the idea of sacrifice. And I don't know what happened here. Did you come up thinking that you had to keep sacrificing the self? I feel like sacrifice has been a theme here, and that maybe you've always felt like you've been the one sacrificing. Right? Like, to see the Hangman in the past, that makes me feel like you've sort of been waiting for this to come back to you, and it hasn't. And you're exhausted now. You've been waiting far too long. You know what I mean? And it's like, typically I always see the Hanged Man as being like divine timing, but perhaps you haven't been sort of like feeling that vibe. Again, when you function in autopilot, sometimes you don't pick up on the divine timing saying, okay, like, this is exhausting you. It's not serving you. It's exhausting you. So Leo, there's something you're doing out of autopilot that needs attention here. Now, in the upcoming future, we see the Five of Swords, which is a time of conflict, loss, upheaval, and really having the perception of loss. So something coming up, I feel karmically, speaking of divine timing, that's going to come and sort of sever this for you if you don't sever it for yourself. And you might see it as a loss, because I think this is feeding a loop for you. This seems to be feeding a loop for you that is not serving you. It's not. And so I feel like divine timing is going to come in and cut that for you. And you almost need to get ready for that, because I feel like that could happen. That could happen because you're not going to sever it. You've attached too much meaning to it, or it's on autopilot and you don't even realize it's happening. It's either, you know, I feel like it's one of the two. You've either got this on autopilot, or you've attached a ton of meaning to this and you're not willing to give it up. What's your inner dialogue? Your inner dialogue is one of trying to get distance and maybe exploring new options, which is good to see. That makes me think that you're wise to this, that this timing here, when you think about this triangle, this Hanged Man with the Ten of Wands and the Five of Swords, perhaps you are waking up to the truth behind this, right? And you're saying, no, you know what? I do need to move on from this. Good. I think this is going to be beneficial if you get some distance from this, even by way of just not thinking about it so much, right? Like, these swords could just be you exploring a different perspective and maybe moving on from this dynamic. Good. I hope so. I feel like this isn't serving you, which is why I'm saying good. But like, it's a good lesson, right? Like, to see where we feel overburdened and we're not even noticing that you're in the flames here. Like, right? You got to get out of these flames. Let's see here. Your outer expression is the Mother Star. So that's a yes. That is a yes. So I feel like you know that you've got to move on past this. You know this isn't sustainable anymore. Good for you, Leo. I was starting to wonder as I was seeing these cards here, but now that I'm seeing that, like, maybe you are just at the beginning stages of allowing this to shift. You might, like I said, when I was saying what I was feeling, you're just wrapping this up now, right? Like I said that at the beginning of the reading. That's true. You are just wrapping this up now. And I feel like you're going to go through sort of the emotions of this. And at first you might think of it as a loss, Five of Swords, but then you quickly move into the Six of Swords where you're like, I'm moving on, right? That's great. I just noticed that succession there, 5, 6. And the 6 of Pentacles is where we started with all of this, where you're seeking balance. And something in your day-to-day is saying you're over-investing in something that's making you feel exhausted. You have been this Knight of Cups has come in to be like, we've got to look past a certain situation and make sort of a proposal to shift our energies, to shift our emotional attachment maybe. And you're ready. 5, 6. Off you go. Mother, start confirming. Yes, you're on the right path. So keep going, Leo. This is great. Oh, I'm feeling much better about this now. Ace of Swords, yes, that's the trick for you. Ace of Swords is what you're hoping for, is sort of some resolution and some successful action here. But you are afraid, of course, because this is going to be a big shift for you. As you heal from this dynamic and you shift into one where you're starting a new perspective, it's unknown. So, of course, there's a lot of mystery around that. What's on the bottom of the deck as I say that? 3 of Wands. Yeah, you're envisioning a new future. So I'm going to put that right next to the scary Ace of Swords, because you need to balance that too. Even if you're afraid to make a decision to move on and to change things, to take an action towards successful sort of resolution, there's an excitement here to envision the future, right? So let that be in balance. Now, the final outcome for you is the Empress. Awesome. I love that for you. This is great, Leo. This makes me feel like you are on the path of creating something that's going to be abundant, harmonious, beautiful, and really in connection with you. You're going to not feel like you're overwhelmed and overburdened and sacrificing yourself for something that is not giving it back, right? Your investment will be in yourself. You're going to invest in yourself and it's going to pay off. Yes, Leo, I love it. Now let's see, what is your final guidance here? The crown chakra. I know I am part of source and my life is guided by divine wisdom. You bet it is. Karma coming in to clean this out and cut any cords for you. You are divinely guided and you're going with it. I feel like you are starting to really wrap up a chapter of self-sacrifice, and as you do that, I feel you are starting to understand that this was all divinely guided. As I was saying about the Hanged Man, always refers to divine timing, and then I said it almost feels like you didn't get the message, but now I see that you did get the message. You did get the message, but you got it after being exhausted. You know what I mean, Leo? And that's okay, because sometimes we need to get to that sort of bottom place where we're just tapped right out, to see just how much of a burden and how much we were sacrificing and how out of balance things were, right? I love that for you, Leo. Yes. Crown chakra, divine connection. Whew, okay, I'm going to leave it at that. If this has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.